Oh, hi, I didn't realize you were there. I was just working out while working from home. This video is for my friend Mark, who has been traveling a lot lately, so he's been sitting in an airplane for longer periods of time. This is also for anyone who sits at a desk for their day job, or if you're just sitting there and you want to be a little bit more productive. All you need is a resistance band, and the one that I'm using today is the one that's rated for 18 to 32 pounds. It's considered a lightweight one. The reason why I use that at home is because sometimes I like to get up and get some snacks, or stretch a little bit, or do some Mabu horse dances, so I'll just keep it on and walk around. So today I'm just going to take you through like a top-down approach, and I guess we'll just get started here. Okay, so the first exercise that I like to start with, as I mentioned, a top-down approach, right, is keeping the band at the lower part of my thighs here, and then I'm just going to elevate my feet off the ground, and then just open and close. So you can either just do immediate open and close, or you can open and hold it and then close. And what this is basically doing is mimicking like a adductor machine where you can either open, or they have the ones that close. So this will just activate your adductor and also your hip flexors a little bit. Okay, so you can do 10 to 15 reps per set, and usually I like to do three sets. The next exercise that you can also do from here is you can just raise your leg up, and then you can alternate, or you can go all on the same leg first, and then same thing, 10 to 15 per side, and then 3 sets of each. And if you need a little bit more resistance, you can put your foot down on one side like this, and then it's a little bit harder to raise your leg. So this will basically be strengthening your quads and giving you a little bit of practice for those tungkongfeijiao, or slap kicks, front slap kicks, right? And then the next exercise, as we move down our leg, is just kind of below the knees here, and then I will open my feet to about shoulder width apart here, and then I will just open my knees out like this. So it's a little bit similar to the first exercise, however, I'm planting my feet at the shoulder width, and then just spreading my legs like this. And then this also activates your hip flexors a little bit more, and then also squeezes your glutes, so you get a little bit of a deeper exercise there. And I also like to hold this one a little bit longer. Okay. So same thing, 10 to 15 reps, three sets, and then we can continue to move down our leg. So at this point, it's just above my ankles here, and then I'm gonna like do the first exercise again. So here, keep my feet elevated, and then just open, hold, and close. It's very similar to the first exercise, however, you are using your glutes a little bit more in this one, because you're kind of like squeezing outwards with your lower legs, like that. Okay. So just like that. And you want to focus on not just opening, but also closing slowly. Okay. And then once you get kind of like towards the inner part of that, like shoulder width, you feel less resistance, and it's mostly just keeping your feet in the air like that. Okay, so then from there, what I like to do is our ankle mobility drills, and this is something that I learned during my Achilles rupture recovery. So essentially, you want to exercise your ankle in 4 directions, right? So there's from dorsiflex to plantar flex. This is strengthening your Achilles, your calf, and also your ankle. Okay, you can kind of focus on putting the resistance band around like the ball of your foot, so then you're kind of getting more of that like push-off strength that you would use for jumping, sprinting, like that. There. And then from this position, you can kind of switch hands. So I'm pulling towards my right, and then my foot is going to go towards the left. Okay, like that. So you want to move it in more of like a flat direction towards the left. And then, in similar fashion, I switch to my left hand, and then now I'm pulling my foot towards the right side. Okay. And all of these you should do, you could probably just get away with like one set of 15 reps for each of these directional exercises. And then the next one might be a little bit difficult if you're like on an airplane, but if you're at home, you can step on one side of the resistance band like this, and then pull into a dorsiflex position like that. So this will help strengthen like this like top part of your ankle, and also like the shin area. That's where I feel it the most. So a bonus exercise. When you keep the band around both feet, you can keep one foot as the anchor, and then I like to keep it shoulder width apart, and then take the foot that you're exercising, so let's say my left, and then just do that outwards pull from here. I guess this is probably better if you're on the airplane, so then you don't have to be like reaching to grab with your hand and disturbing the person next to you. So this is pretty space efficient. So you can go like that. And extra bonus, kind of like the Avengers end credits extra scene, right? Whenever you're practicing your Tai Chi form, one exercise that I actually like to do, and that really helped me during my Achilles recovery, was for the Chi Si, when you start the opening move. Here, shift all the weight onto one foot, and then as soon as you place it down and you find that grounding point, then you start to shift. Right, we're here at 50%, and then if you continue to shift all the way to your other side, and then put 100% on this foot, and then just come back. Relax here. I found that this was actually more helpful than just running through the form, because this was consciously helping me regain the control of my body weight and center of gravity. Right? So here. And I found that like the more repetitions that you do, the more beneficial this will be. And then once you get more comfortable with this, then you can start adding like the balance here, right? Touch and open. You can check it and then go up. So I actually found this to be more helpful than just, doing the front and back walking, especially because at that point, at that stage of my recovery, I was working more on my ankle stability too, and putting weight onto my injured foot. So hopefully that helps you too. All right, see ya.